Hello everyone, my name is Chase and I am a mentalist magician. Everything that I do is 100% fake. But what if it wasn't? And where did magic originally come from? Well, in this series I am travelling across the UK with help from some of my friends.
It was the work of the devil. He was charged with an actual crime.
I felt like really slowly, like a hand come around my neck and a hand come around my face. And the next thing I know, I'm being like dragged by my face.
And hopefully we can answer the question, is magic real? Hello everyone and welcome back to the final episode of Is Magic Real? I can't actually believe that this is the final episode. It's taken me over 2 years to make, and in a space of 8 weeks, it's over from that first episode to now. 2 years for just 8 weeks worth of work, and I don't know how it'll hit off, and I don't know how well it will do until after the series is over, I suppose, but we're here, and I've got a hell of a lot of editing to do. 2 years worth of editing to get through. But yeah, it's crazy that it's taken 2 years to get to this exact moment, and it's over. It's over. So before we get into this episode, which is basically just a summary episode of the whole entire series, I just want to say thank you to everyone who's been involved with it and anyone who's watched the series as well. Things changed a lot from what it was supposed to be. You know, it was supposed to just be like a documentary thing, but then it kind of turned into a more of a supernatural ghost hunt sort of thing, and that's one thing I kind of want to talk about in this episode, really, is the links between the supernatural and magic, because this was supposed to be about just finding out if magic's real or not, but it turned out to be more of a supernatural ghost hunt sort of thing. But anyway, I digress. This episode is me going over the series, tallying up everything we've learned, and answering the question of the series, giving the definite answer, and asking myself, is magic real? So without any further ado, let's kick off with episode 1, Black and White Smoke. In the first episode, we spoke to Kaylee, whose spectral sightings painted a literal canvas of black and white smoke. Her literal horror stories was one of the biggest reasons why I wanted the series to happen, and I am glad that she could be part of the journey, especially at the very beginning. And when I asked her, is magic real? She said yes. So that's one tick off the tally to the team yes. Woo! I don't even know why I'm wooing. Like, should I be wooing for the yes? Should I be wooing for the no? Well, only time will tell. Make sure you stay to the end of this episode. Okay, moving on, we have episode 2, The Curse of Colchester. Myself and Sam went to the Shoulder of Mutton, an antique shop known for its haunted sightings. The people, Sam, another Sam, and Amy were amazing people, and they were just so lovely and so supportive of the show. Yet amongst rooms where the lights weren't working and witch symbols were found on the walls, when I asked them if magic was real, well, 2 of them said yes, Sam and Amy, and the other Sam, who works at the Shoulder of Mutton, well, he said no. So that's now, the tally will be on the screen somewhere. I'm really bad at maths. Really bad at maths. Okay, episode 3. magic's genesis. In the company of Cavan Booth, we ventured into the genesis of magic, tracing its lineage through time and what magic can do when performing as magicians like ourselves. He gave us some fascinating stories and ideas that honestly I would have loved to have spoken to him more about. And like everyone else at the moment, when I asked him if magic was real, he said yes. Episode 4, Through the Looking Glass. Episode 4 was such an interesting one because it was the first episode that was just on my own. It wasn't with someone or we weren't somewhere. So yeah, it was really, really interesting, and that's when the spooky stuff started to happen. My great-grandmother's crystal ball, a window to the unknown. I looked through it into the depths for such a long time. Eventually, I did start to see images. Now, the skeptic in me will say it's because it was late when I was filming it, and I was staring at something for way too long. And you know, that happens when you stare at something for too long. You start seeing things, but nobody can explain why the lights went out. As that episode just was with me, I didn't ask anyone if magic was real. So, no tally for this episode. Moving on, we have episode 5, Canterbury Tales. Canterbury, a tapestry woven with threads of witchcraft and lore, with Matt, Megan and Neve, alphabetical order obviously. We treaded through the literal cobblestones and listened to John, our amazing tour guide, about the history and the darkness around every corner. Everybody who came along on this episode said that magic was real. It's really looking high that everybody thinks magic is real, but we'll get to why people think that later. Episode 6, Clash of Good and Evil. A kindred spirit from distant lands, we spoke about the light and shadow and the boundaries of magic. We spoke about our experiences and why we love it all so much. Honestly, I didn't expect it to go as deep as it did, but it opened up a fantastic world, and it was wonderful to discuss with a like-minded individual something like this. And that was sort of the first step into venturing outside of the UK. If this series does pick up and allows me to go and do another one, I'd love to go to another country or other countries to see what magic is like in other places. I mean, I've touched on it in other episodes, but yeah, seeing, you know, cultural differences and religious differences on what spirits and ghosts and magic means to different people in different cultures would be really interesting, especially, you know, this is mainly UK specific, right? So it'd be cool to see it in another country. And when asked if magic was real, he said yes. He said yes, so it's another tick in the yes corner of is magic real. Oh yeah. Episode 7, Gateway to the Unseen. The Ouija board, a conduit to the unseen realms. Through the trials and tribulations of not speaking with psychics and mediums and not being able to do my own seance, I decided to take matters into my own hands, and in solitude, I reached out to the veil parted, so much quicker than I expected it to be. The spirit spoke of ancient allegiances, and the darkness literally came again as the lights went out, all over again, just like they did with the Crystal Ball episode. Since then, more lights have gone out over and over again in random places that I just happen to walk in. And it could be that simple thing of that I'm looking for that connection, I'm looking for that thing, just like people have with lucky and unlucky numbers, things that keep popping up. So I'm not sure, but it does keep happening. And again, you know, looking back at this episode, I should have asked this spirit, is magic real? Because that would have been a really funny answer. But I didn't, and I'm too scared to set it all up again and speak to whatever it was again. So I'm not doing that one. But that does bring us to this episode. Episode 8. Conjuring Clarity. Like I said, this series has literally taken over my life, for better and for the worst. Sounds like I'm getting married, I suppose, but there's a lot of stuff within 2 years that's happened. From the moment I decided for this series to be a thing, whatever it would have been to this exact moment, the end. It's, through personal matters and things, so much has changed. I've learned so much about myself along the journey, and, we're finally here. And that's crazy. It's so crazy. Throughout my whole life, I've always felt like this question should have been answered. And the fact that it hasn't has made me want to do it more. And because of my situation, I feel like I am the perfect person to ask the question. But now, as we're at the end of this episode and this series, we have to look at the tally, right? It's a bit obvious. Everything is leaning towards the yes. Everything. There's only one person, Sam, at the shoulder of mutton. He's the only one who said no. And everybody else said yes. So it's really pushing the direction of the answer being yes, right? But you've got to remember, right? Everybody on this series was out to find the answer too. They are my friends. I did magic tricks to them along the way, and obviously I'm not going to reveal how I did those tricks. And we touched on it with Cavan's episode, the Magic's Genesis episode. We touched on it briefly, that if you can't explain it, you can't say yes or no to it. It's like, religion and God. If you're an atheist, because you can't see it, because you can't prove it, it doesn't exist. But on the other hand, you can't see it, you can't prove it, that means it does exist, because you can't prove it wrong or right. So I believe it's been a real good experiment with everybody in this series asking all these questions, because it's kind of proven that point that if you can't explain it, you're going to go with the yes answer, right? And annoyingly, this series was hoping to answer the question and have proof of if magic was real or if it ever has been real. And I don't feel like we've done that. I don't feel like we've answered that question until now. I guess there's only one more person to ask. Chase, is magic real? What? No way, man. That's so cool. I mean, I wish I had one of them. Do you know what I mean? Like, I know we've spoken about it before and stuff like that, but I actually can't believe that you've just spent your money on that. That's crazy. So, what? You believe this? The lights just went out. I mean, you've seen some of the series, right? But, like, that's super weird. And one of the lights have actually gone out as well. This keeps happening since filming is magic real, is what I was saying. All the other lights are on. How weird. But apart from that, I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and But apart from that, I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye. Alright, gang. I won't lie to you. Like, genuinely, this does kind of creep me out a bit. It's been a couple of weeks since his Magic Reel came out. And the series is actually, going at the moment. I think we're on like episode 4 or something like that at the moment, episode 4 or 5. We're on episode 4 because I just came back from Anyway, yeah, and if you guys don't know, I'm not actually a dreamer. I don't dream like at all. And if I do, it's like a very rare occurrence. But I just had a dream. And guess what it was about? It was about Venator Magister. You know that whatever it was we met during the Ouija board experiment, and I called it like Venator, Venator, whatever it was. It's actually pronounced Venator. Well, that's what it was pronounced in my dream, Magister. And it was like this dark, shadowy figure and stuff like that, and it dragged me, it pulled me along, right? It like took my arm and it pulled me. And it was like again, it's a dream, but it was a dark night. It was bright full moon, right? It was crazy. But the craziest thing, I don't know if I'm going to be able to pop you up that well. The craziest thing, grabs my arm, pulled me along, but look, I woke up and I've actually got like a massive like handprint here, and like I don't know if you can see it that well, but like I'm bruised here, and I haven't knocked myself or anything like that. That's just I don't know what to say. But I thought the series was finished, but I thought I'd add this in. Yeah. I hope nothing else happens. Guys, it's been a couple of days since the dream, right? And look at that. You can see it better in this lighting. Is it me or is it getting worse? Like, there's like red bits around here, then it goes like greeny yellow here, and then like along this bit here, it's like, it's crazy. But yeah, I've been telling people that, I'm gonna spin you over actually, one sec. Yeah, I've been telling people that, if you don't know, I do Kung Fu, right? I've been doing it for years. So I've kind of been telling people that I did it in one of the lessons in Kung Fu, just to not freak people out. I don't know if that's the right thing to do or not, but yeah, it's strange because it's something. It hurts when you touch it, but it doesn't hurt any of the other times. But the dream itself, like, you know when you have those dreams where you don't really remember, but it comes back to you a little bit later. So I'm getting that. Like, I remember this like dark, cloudy figure called Venator, grabbing my arm and pulling me around and stuff. But when we conversed before it, we weren't. I was talking like this, obviously, but this creature was speaking another language, but I could understand it. It was really weird. Like, it was clearly another language, but I knew what it was saying. Yeah, man. I just thought I'd give you a quick update.